Hi friends! I wanted to share some things with you this evening. I really wanted to just talk about what holds us back and just give you some examples and some ideas of things that hold us back from achieving any goal in life. For me, obviously health and wellness, those are goals, weight loss, those are really common right now at this time of year, get back on track season, but also, career goals, changing a career, opening a business, closing a business, doubling, multiplying your income, any of those types of things. So I'm a Thinking into Results consultant with the Proctor Gallagher Institute, as some of you know, and I'm also a registered nutritional consulting practitioner. So, to reach your potential, you need to know two things. You need to know where you're going, and you need to know where you are and why you're here. That's what John Maxwell shares, and without both of those pieces of information, you're liable to get lost. So I'm going to share a little graphic or visual explanation. Let's imagine that this chair that I'm sitting in now, this is where we are. This is our current results. This is where we currently are. And then this chair over here, this is where we want to go. This is our goal. Any goal in any aspect of life. Okay, so this is where we are and this is where we want to go. So if it's so clear and so obvious that I want to go over there, I want to be in that chair, then why would I stay here? Why are so many people stuck? So I'm going to share some things with you, and I'm sure you'll be familiar with them. One of them we hear a lot about is comfort, the comfort zone. Now, Bob Proctor actually calls it bondage. So we refer to it as bondage or familiar zone, because most people really are not necessarily that comfortable here. They might just temporarily feel comfortable or feel less uncomfortable to move. But comfort zones or bondage, so that's one reason. And that kind of leads me also to the next one. I don't like to refer to it as laziness per se, because I really don't like that word. In some cases, of course, maybe. But a lot of times, it's just that their desire to go over there to achieve that goal is not as strong as their perceived effort to get there. And I say perceived effort because a lot of times the actual process or effort may not be understood. So there's a perception there that might feel like it's going to be too much to go over towards that goal. Another big one is, like you probably see this a lot, how many people get up, they start something and then they go back. They start something and then they quit. They try it one more time and then they quit. Over and over and over, little steps at a time. We see that a lot. Another thing that is fear. So of course, we hear a lot about fear. There's a couple of aspects of fear. So one is fear of the unknown. I've never been in that chair. I've never gone there. I've never gone to that goal, so I don't know what that looks like and what will it be like when I get there. I'm not sure. So there's a bit of a fear of the unknown. And then really big one, of course, is the fear of failure. If I get up and I take a step towards this and I fall flat on my face, what do people do? What's their initial reaction? If you start something, you take a step and you fail, go right back and whew, did anybody see that? I am never doing that again. We just try to hide and brush it under the rug and don't want to try again. But of course, when you're achieving anything big, you are going to have steps and bumps along the road. So we just got to be prepared for that. Another one that I hear is actually that their desire is just to stay here. They're happy where they are, and their desire is to stay here. If that's true, then that's fine. If someone's desire really is to stay where they are and they don't have any desire to move ahead or improve, that's okay. But I just encourage you to really think, is that really, really what you want? Because you've got to really want it if you really want to stay here. And I know the spirit inside of us wants fuller expression, and we want to grow. It's really, it's definitely, ideally, we always are going to want to move forward. You're either moving forward or moving backwards. That's what we talk about a lot. Another one is self-image. So, I don't deserve to go over there. Or what will people think of me if I get there, if I go there? There's a whole, I deal so much with self-image. Self-image in our society is so big, and I think it's understood, and it's definitely not talked about enough, and we all deal with different limiting beliefs with self-image, so it's something that's really, really big in what holds people back. Another one is this goal even clearly defined? Does anybody know where they're going? How many people have a clearly defined written goal to where they're going? Like I said at the beginning, if you don't know where you're going, you're liable to get lost. So, a lot of times people just don't have a clearly defined goal, or they have too many goals, a whole bunch of things. They want to do this, that, and the other, and therefore they're not focused on any one direction. So those are kind of some of the big things that I wanted to share. But really, there's only two things. There's two things that hold people back. First is they don't know how to set a proper goal. They don't have a proper goal, and they don't know how to set a proper goal. So they don't know how to set a goal. And then the second thing is they don't understand paradigms. Paradigms are where you are right now. They don't understand where they are right now and why they are where they are. If you can understand goals and how to set a proper goal, and you can understand paradigms and why you are where you are, then you can break free of them. You can change your paradigms, you can change your habits, and you can achieve anything you want in life. But you have to understand and know those two things. So I'm just going to explain really briefly, because we spend a lot of time on these in our program, but I'll just explain them really briefly. For goals, I love this, because we refer to them as A, B, and C goals. So an A goal is something that you've already done or you know how to do. So we don't really refer to them as goals. It's more of a task. It's just something you know how to do or you've already done. A B-type goal is something that you think you know how to do. So you may not have done it, but you think, if this happens and I do this and that, then yeah, I could see how that goal could be achieved. So B-type goals are really dangerous, because we think we know how to do it, so then we're not relying on this deep faith to really pull us forward. The C-type goals, that is where, I'm going to sit over in the C-type chair goal, C-type goal chair. The C-type goals, that is what we really, really want. So we take out fear, we take out limiting beliefs, we take out tiredness, laziness, we take out any limitation, and we say, what do I really, really want? Even though I've got no idea how to get there. And if you do know how to get there, then it's not big enough. So it's really, those C-type goals really stretch us. They stretch us, but they will bring us what we actually want to achieve in life. And we can achieve anything we want. So, whether it's those health and fitness goals that I, of course, deal a lot with at this time of year, but whether it's career, relationships, or anything. So you really got to think outside of the box and really think open-minded about those C goals. So that's a goal. So I talked a little bit about goals. The other piece that you need to understand in order to move ahead and achieve anything in life is you need to understand paradigms. Some of you have probably heard the word paradigms. I'm only going to explain it briefly today because it takes a long time to really understand. But essentially, your paradigm is your habitual way of being. It's just the way that you've been programmed throughout your life. Sorry, I'm going to pause there for a second. And anyways, your paradigm is essentially your habitual way of being. It's the lens in which you view the world. We would call it inside your, little box that you grew up in, the box that you live in. So your paradigm is really just a multitude of habits. And you can change them. You can change your paradigms. You've got some good paradigms, some bad paradigms, but you can change your paradigms and you can change your habits. But it requires a very specific process, and you've got to understand the mind. We have to allow ourselves to think outside the box. If we can teach ourselves how to think outside of our own habitual way of thinking and our own habitual way of being, then we can free ourselves and we can really see. It's unbelievable how quickly you see dramatic changes when you learn how to change your paradigms. So that's all I wanted to share. I know that's only a tidbit. I really need to visually show you paradigms to explain it in its full detail. We spend weeks on just that one topic, but I just wanted to encourage you to really, think about it. Give yourself the opportunity to think about those goals. Pick a C goal, stretch yourself, and of course, anytime you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I will be explaining this in more detail in some of my upcoming seminars, which I will have posted on Facebook as well. But have yourself a lovely evening. Thank you for listening. I see a bunch of names popping up on there. Hopefully I didn't miss any comments, but I can respond afterwards. All right, have a good night.